Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, His Grace Divyanam Prabhuji has instructed me to speak on the glories of Shri Bharat Ji, the younger brother of Shri Ram. Because Shri Ram Navami is coming up in just a few days. We are having the series on the different heroes of Ramayan. We know from Srila Prabhupada's purports that Krishna cannot be separated and Krishna should not be separated from his devotees. We never worship Krishna alone. Krishna is always with his devotees. So glorification of Lord Ram is incomplete without glorification of Lord Ram's devotees, the Ram Bhaktas. And in Sri Valmiki Ramayan, which is the original Ramayan, we see so many different characters, so many different devotees who are with great love serving Lord Ram. And today we will speak about Shri Bharat Ji, who is one of them. What I'm going to speak today is based entirely on the Valmiki Ramayan. And I will only be speaking a certain section from the life of Shri Bharat Ji, because the charitra, the character of Shri Bharat Ji is so glorious that those who know the tattva and rasa of Ram Lila can speak eternally, glorifying Shri Bharat Ji. In tattva, Shri Bharat Ji is Vishnu tattva. Shri Bharat Ji is the personality of Godhead. He is an avatar of ultimately Krishna. All the Vishnu Murtis are ultimately incarnations of Krishna. Ete chakam sakalapum sa Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Everyone is an incarnation of Krishna. Sarva Avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita describes. So Bharat Ji also ultimately is an incarnation of Krishna. And he is part of the Chatur Vyuha. From Lord Krishna comes Balaram. Sarva Avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan. Tahara Dvitiya Deha Shri Balaram. From Balaram Ji comes Mool Sankarshan. From Mool Sankarshan comes the Chatur Vyuha. Chatur Vyuha is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Also Ram, Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughna. So Bharat Ji is Vishnu Tattva, but he is in the mood of a devotee. And there are many Vishnu Tattva incarnations who are in the mood of devotee, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan Krishna. Bharat Ji is one of them. So we see how from his childhood, Bharat Ji was very much devoted to Lord Ram. And he had his assistant, Shatrughna. And Ram had his direct assistant, Lakshman. So the Purna Purushottam Bhagavan in Ram Leela is Lord Ram. He is Purna Purushottam Bhagavan. Maryada Purushottam is Lord Ram. And his own incarnations serve him as his younger brothers. Direct seva, always being in the association of Lord Ram and directly serving him one-on-one, is Lakshman Ji. Bharat Ji performs the seva called Vipralamba Seva, which is higher. So our Rasik Acharyas have told us that among the direct servants of Lord Ramchandra, Lakshmanji and Hanumanji are the best. Lakshman is brother also and servant also. Hanumanji is pure servant. Vishuddha Dasyarati. That is our Hanumanji. And His Grace Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, I heard, spoke last Saturday. So that's wonderful. And Lakshmanji is brother in the mood of a servant, directly serving Lord Ram in his company. Bharatji is serving Lord Ram but staying away. That is more difficult. Vipralamba Seva is more difficult. Therefore, Rasikacharyas have said, I have heard this from Rasikacharyas, who are Tattvavit in Ramayan. They have said that Bharat service is superior to Lakshman. Hare Krishna. Because it is Vipralamba Seva. Service and separation. Shatrughna, the youngest of the four brothers, is a servant of Bharat. Just like Lakshman serves Ram, Shatrughna serves Bharat. So Bharat's role is love in separation, and Shatrughna's role is service and separation in the mood of servant of the servant. Bharat is directly serving Ram. Ram instructs Bharat, you be the king. Jai Siya Ram. Whatever you say. Bharatji does. But Shatrughna is servant of Bharat. So he is Dasanudas. Aham Hare Tava Dasa Aham Hare Tava Padai Kamula Dasanudaso Bhavitasmi Bhuya. That is Shatrughna. In separation, in Viraha, but in the mood of servant of the servant. So the Rasikacharyas have commented, this is their realization, that Shatrughna's service is superior to that of Bharat. This is spiritual mathematics. The smallest is the biggest. Dinera adhika daya kare Bhagavan, Pandita kulina dhani bada abhiman. In material life, the CEO is the biggest. In spiritual life, the janitor is the biggest. The janitor is the greatest. Shri Vigraha Aradhana Nityanana Shringara Tan Mandira Marjanado Yuktasya Bhaktams Chaniyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Our path is the path of sitting on the floor. Our path is the path of sweeping the floor, mopping the floor, being Dasanudas, calling oneself Das and calling others Prabhu and Mataji. That is our path. Because that is what pleases Krishna. So that is Shatrughna. But today we are speaking about Bharat, the Lord and Master of Shatrughna. So from their childhood, this was the relationship. That Lord Ram is the hero, Raghuvamsha Nayak, and Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna are serving him. But everything changed on the eve of the Raj Abhishek of Shri Ram. There were three principal queens of Maharaj Dashrath: Kausalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra. And Kausalya's son is Ram, Kaikeyi's son is Bharat, and Sumitra's two sons are Lakshman and Shatrughna. Kaikeyi's son is Bharat, but from childhood Kaikeyi loved Ram the most. It is said that Kaikeyi's love for Ram was more than the love of Kausalya. Again, Rasikacharyas have given this opinion. When Sita and Ram got married in Ayodhya, and Goswami Tulsidas ji says this, I promised I will speak from Valmiki Ramayan, but what to do? What is in the heart comes out. Goswami Tulsidas ji, who is an incarnation of Sri Valmiki Muni, as mentioned in Bhavishya Puran, verses there, that Valmiki Muni will incarnate in Kali Yuga as Goswami Tulsidas Ji. So Goswami Tulsidas Ji tells this very beautiful story. Valmiki Ramayana is the original, and that is the foundation of all Ram Katha, Shri Valmiki Ramayana. However, there are other commentaries, other renderings of Ramayana also which are bona fide. And Goswami Tulsidas Ji's Shri Ramcharitmanas is at the top. What Valmiki Muni did not give as Valmiki Muni, he came and gave in Audhi as Goswami Tulsidas Ji. Again, this is the opinion of our Rasikacharyas. But Srila Prabhupada wanted to emphasize that Valmiki Muni's Ramayana in Sanskrit is the original and it is the foundational text. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said we should stick to Valmiki Ramayana. And that is the way it should be. Because in those days, devotees they didn't know who Valmiki Muni is. They didn't know who Valmiki Ramayana is. So how they should go here and there. So we should first study Valmiki Ramayana and then the other renditions of Ramayana that are bona fide. Not all are bona fide, but so like that. So Goswami Tulsidas explains that when Sita and Ram got married in Janakpur and they returned to Ayodhya, Sita and Ram went together palace to palace to take blessings of everyone. So when they went to take blessings of Kaikeyi, Kaikeyi blessed Sita and Ram. They touched her feet and she blessed them all the success, all the happiness, all good fortune. And then she said, so Dashrath Maharaj had made palaces for all his queens. But his favorite queen was Kaikeyi. And Kaikeyi's palace was the greatest, most beautiful, most opulent. And Sita and Ram came to Kaikeyi's palace to take her blessings. She blessed them and then said, from today this palace belongs to you, Sita and Ram. And she walked out. She didn't know where to go. She was like, she just left her house. She had no place to go. But she had so much love for Sita and Ram. She gave her own palace to Sita and Ram. Kaikeyi. This was her love for Ram and Sita. And she went to Dashrath. Of course, Dashrath Maharaj made another palace for her. But this was her love. She gave her own palace without a second thought. Not to Bharat, but to Ram. That Kaikeyi, because of associating with a low-class woman, Manthara, created a conspiracy to remove Ram from Ayodhya for 14 years and to make her own son Bharat as the king. This teaches us a very important principle in life: association. Association is very, very important. Association is more powerful than we believe. It is because of association that we get Krishna Bhakti. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kai, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hai. Brahmanda Bhramite Kon Bhagyavan Ji, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. It is the prasad of the association of Guru and Krishna. How do we get the association of Guru and Krishna? Guru Sakshat, through Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, through Guru Vani, through Guru Maharaja's lectures, through Guru Maharaja's books, and Krishna's association we get through books that describe Krishna. Books where Krishna speaks, like the Ekadash Skandha of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Krishna is speaking to Uddhavji, like Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is speaking to Arjun, like Chaitanya Charitamrita, where there is Raya Ramananda Samvad, there is Rupa Shiksha, there is Sanatan Shiksha, there is Sarvabhauma Shiksha, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving instructions. That's how we associate with Krishna. And it is by association of Guru and Krishna that we get bhakti. Association is very important. The 9 stages of bhakti, what is the first foundational stage? Ādav Shraddha, Tatha Sadhu Sangha, Tatha Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, like that it goes. But the foundation is Shraddha. Shraddha is very important. And Shraddha comes from association. Jaiva Dharma explains. How do we get Shraddha? Shraddha comes from Bhakti Poshak Sukriti and from association. Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj writes in his book, The Worship of Sri Guru, very beautiful book. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj says that Bhakti comes to us from the heart of a pure Bhakta. A Shuddha Bhakta from his heart transmits Bhakti in our heart. So like that. So we need association. And just like good association will benefit us by giving us Shraddha and Bhakti, bad association will weaken that Shraddha. I know one devotee, he once associated with some nonsense people who say that Srila Prabhupada did not give everything. Srila Prabhupada spoke basic philosophy. Srila Prabhupada is not Rasik. He spoke basic. You are not the body, you are the soul. Or how long will you hear that, Baba? Come to our organization. We will give you rasa. Like that. They preach like that against Prabhupada. And this devotee stayed with some of them. And he got so influenced by them that he started speaking like them to me. That Prabhupada gave only basic ABC. And to get higher knowledge, we have to go out of ISKCON. ISKCON में नहीं है. ISKCON में basic है सब. ठीक है, initially you take the basic knowledge from ISKCON, but then you come to our organization. We'll teach you how to practice Raganuga Bhakti. Hare Krishna. So he was talking like that. Then I asked him, Prabhuji, in the last few days, who have you associated with? I know you for so many years. This is not your speech. Who have you associated with? So he told me, yes, Prabhuji, I went in this particular city and I stayed with this particular devotee. And he has left ISKCON and these are his beliefs. And he downloaded all his beliefs on me. And I uploaded them. I said, delete them now. Delete them. Association is very important. Association is very important. If Prabhupada had given only basic philosophy, then how would Prabhupada's followers go back to Godhead? How do you explain Ladini Mataji? How do you explain Jayananda Prabhu? How do you explain Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj? How do you explain Srila Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj? How do you explain Srila Gaur Govinda Swami? How do you explain Ayendar Prabhu? Ye sab kya? They could not see? How do you explain Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj? So many. And recently, how do you explain Srila Kadamakana Swami Maharaj? So many devotees are going back to Godhead from ISKCON. All they have followed is Srila Prabhupada. They don't know any other Rasikacharya. And they are getting the highest perfection in life. So we should have faith. And any nonsense people who disturb that faith, we should reject their association and reject their nonsense philosophy very boldly. Kaikeyi became a victim of Manthara's bogus thought process. She made her believe if Ram becomes the king tomorrow, you will be neglected. Ram will ill-treat you. He will ostracize you and Bharat. Manthara created this false fear in the mind of Kaikeyi. And she fell for that bait. And she used her two boons that she had to ask Dashrath, number one, to exile Ram 14 years to the forest, and number two, make Bharat the king immediately. And we know the story. Dashrath Maharaj was forced to do that. Kaikeyi was very happy. Manthara was very happy. But Dashrath Maharaj was heartbroken. Kaushalya, Sumitra, they were heartbroken. Vasishtha Muni was heartbroken. All the residents, all the citizens of Ayodhya were heartbroken. And this is a very important principle, my dear friends. We should make sure that our happiness is not at the cost of others. If something is making us happy and other devotees are crying because of that, is that happiness? Is that pleasure? नहीं. सबको साथ में लेके चलना है हमें. We should be happy, but we should be happy together. Happiness should also be Sankirtan. Together. We are in this together. We are one family. Everywhere we see, in all the scriptures, real devotees are happy when others get mercy. They are happy together. Throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita, throughout Chaitanya Bhagavat, we see again and again, when a devotee gets mercy, everybody is happy. And we never see a devotee becoming happy at the cost of others. In this regard, I will tell you such a heart-touching story. Yesterday only I was listening to this lecture by my Guru Maharaj, Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj, the Mahaprakash Leela. And Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj was saying, as far as I read, I did not find this in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. But this is coming from the heart of my Guru Maharaj. This is his realization. It is not in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. But when Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj was narrating Mahaprakash Leela, sitting in Srivas Angan, where it actually happened, Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj says, when Mukunda Datta was not getting Mahaprabhu's mercy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not calling him. He was standing behind the curtain, crying, why Mahaprabhu is neglecting me? He is giving mercy to everyone, but he is not giving me mercy. At that time, Srivas Thakur told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that why are you neglecting Mukunda? I was thinking of sharing this story today in the evening. Why you are neglecting Mukunda? Please call him. He's such a nice devotee. When he sings, we all go into ecstasy. Please call him. Give him your mercy. Give him Krishna Prem also. And Mahaprabhu said, no, I will not give him. So, Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj said that this is not in Chaitanya Bhagavat, but Maharaj ke hriday se. Maharaj said, at that time, all the devotees told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, जिन्हें भी कृपा प्राप्त हुई थी महाप्रभु की, all the devotees who had just received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Haridas Thakur had got benedictions, Advaita Acharya had got benedictions, Srivas Thakur had got benedictions, Dukhi had got benedictions, Gangadas Pandit had got benedictions, Haridas Thakur had got benedictions, Murari Gupta had got benedictions. All these devotees told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, hey Mahaprabhu, take back all the benedictions you have given us. जो भी हमें वरदान दिया है, आप वापस ले लो, नहीं चाहिए. लेकिन हमारे मुकुंद को neglect मत करो. Give him the mercy. You can take back. Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj said this. All the devotees petitioned to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, you can take back all the benedictions you have given us. Take them back. But please give mercy to our Mukunda. Don't neglect him. This is Vaishnava society, my dear friends. We cannot be happy unless and until our brothers and sisters are happy. No devotee was happy as long as Maharaj Pratap Rudra was not getting mercy. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya tried, Gopinath Acharya tried, Nityananda Prabhu tried, Ramananda Rai tried, just to get Maharaj Pratap Rudra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. This is devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chastising Sanatan Goswami. Hey, you want to commit suicide? You want to destroy your body? Your body is my property. How you can destroy? Haridas Thakur takes up for Sanatan Goswami. और महाप्रभु की बात काट देते हैं. Mahaprabhu tells Haridas Thakur, Haridas, Dato, chastise this Sanatan Goswami. He wants to commit suicide. He has given his body to me and now he wants to commit suicide. Haridas Thakur says, what is the fault of Sanatan? Who can understand your plans? Don't chastise Sanatan. You tell him what your plan is for him, what service you have for him, instead of chastising. Haridas Thakur does not chastise Sanatan. Mahaprabhu is ordering him, chastise Sanatan. Haridas Thakur is taking up for Sanatan Goswami and chastising Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu की बात को काट देते हैं. You see, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ante Leela, that chapter, I think 4th chapter. Haridas Thakur chastises Mahaprabhu, cutting Mahaprabhu's words and taking up for Sanatan. This is Vaishnava society. We take up for each other, even against Krishna, for genuine devotees. I don't know why I was saying all this. But our Kaikeyi, she was completely influenced by Manthara and she asked for those benedictions. And Ram was gone and Dashrath Maharaj, who loved Ram so much, was now completely heartbroken. Yes, we were discussing how we should not be happy when other devotees are sad. We should not be happy at the cost of others. Kaikeyi became happy at the cost of other devotees, at the cost of Vashishta Muni, at the cost of Kausalya, at the cost of Sumitra, at the cost of Maharaj Dashrath. Was a Param Vaishnava. We should never ever be happy at the cost of other devotees. This was the principle. I remembered now. Shri Valmiki Ramayan describes how Kaikeyi was happy and how Kausalya and Sumitra were sad that night when Ram left. That same night, Dashrath Maharaj, he was crying in separation from Ram. Hey Sita, hey Lakshman. He was crying. And while crying, tears of separation from them, at night, Dashrath Maharaj died. Valmiki Ramayan describes, in the morning, the maidservants of Kausalya And Sumitra, they came and they saw him lying on the floor. They touched him and his body was cold. And they realized that the king had died. Then there was so much melancholy. Everybody cried. Hearing the cries, Kausalya and Sumitra woke up. They saw their husband dead. They started wailing and crying. The point is, and then Vashishta Muni came and consoled them. He said that Dashrath Maharaj has gone to Vaikuntha. He has gone to the spiritual world where there is no more birth and death. He is eternally happy now because in his last moments, he was remembering Ram. The point is, in Bhagavad Gita, for the yogi, many paths are described, and it is recommended that one should die in the daytime when the sun is present, not at night. One should die during Uttarayan, not Dakshinayan. One should die during the waxing moon, Shukla Paksha, not waning moon, not during Krishna Paksha, for the yogi. And then in the last verse of that chapter, Krishna says, 8th chapter, but for our devotee, these things don't matter. Devotee can leave the body at any time and will get the Param Gati. And Ramayan, Valmiki Ramayan is Praman for that. Dashrath Maharaj died at night. And Vashishta Muni said in the morning, he went to Vaikuntha. Because at the end, he was remembering Ram. Anta kale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. So there is an important siddhanta. Then we see, as soon as Dashrath Maharaj died, Vashishta Muni became the king, temporary king. Because somebody has to rule and give orders. So Vashishta Muni was filling in, and he immediately sent messengers to get Bharat, who was in Kaikeya. And there he was staying with his maternal grandfather, Kaikeyi's father, Mahārāj Ashwapati. Mahārāj Ashwapati in Kaikeya. So he was staying there for some time with Shatrughna. Bharat and Shatrughna were staying there. And Vashishta Muni sent the fastest horses and the fastest messengers. They traversed all that distance in 3 days. Continuously they went. In 3 days they reached. And Vashishta Muni told the messengers, tell Bharat, everything is fine. Everything was not fine. Ram had left, Sita had left, Lakshman had left, and Dashrath Maharaj had died. But Vashishta Muni told the messengers, tell Bharat and Shatrughna in Kaikeya kingdom that everything is fine in Ayodhya. But you are required for some urgent business, so please come quickly. Now, this is a very important principle for us to learn about speech. Krishna says that Satyam Bruhat, we have to speak the truth. But Priyam Bruhat. But it should be spoken in a way that is pleasing also. Anudvega Karam Vakyam. Satyam Priya Hitam Chay. It should be Satya, but it should also be Hitam. It should also be Priya. Pleasant. Is it pleasant to send a messenger to tell Bharat, Pitaji guzar gaye? Your father has died? No. That is not something you tell through a messenger when someone is in a foreign country. So time, place and circumstance. Vashishta Muni is teaching us sensitivity. How to speak what, when. So he sent the messenger saying everything is fine, all is well in Ayodhya, but you are required for some urgent business, please come. And Bharat Maharaja was having inauspicious omens. He was experiencing inauspicious omens in Kaikeya kingdom. So he knew something is wrong. And the morning that the messengers arrived, that night Bharat had a dream where he saw his father was wearing black clothes and going in the south direction. South direction is the direction of death. So he knew that his father, he was having that inkling that maybe my father has died. And just that morning, the messengers came from Ayodhya, said that please come quickly. And then Bharat Maharaj immediately wanted to permission from his grandfather, maternal grandfather, to leave. And maternal grandfather said, oh, you are going back to Ayodhya, you go, but take all these gifts from me. And he gave horses, he gave elephants, he gave gold and jewels and expensive clothes with Bharat to take as gifts for Maharaj Dashrath and the whole Ayodhya family. Now this delayed the journey. When the messengers came on the horses, they came in 3 days. Valmiki Ramayan describes. But when they went back, it took them more than double the time because it was a big party. Elephants were walking slowly. So it took them 7 days to reach Ayodhya. And Bharat was getting restless. He wanted to gallop on the horses ahead because he knew something was wrong. And he was asking the messengers, is Ram okay? Am I being called for the Rajya Abhishek of Ram? Is that why Dashrath Maharaj is calling me quickly? And they were not saying anything. They were not saying yes, they were not saying no. And Bharat understood something is wrong. And he wanted to go fast, but he could not go because the whole There were soldiers, there were horses, elephants, bags of gold and everything. It was slowing him down. This teaches us something important in life, my dear friends. Sometimes we are just helpless. Bharat could not leave those soldiers behind. He could not leave those gifts behind. He could not leave those elephants and just gallop ahead alone with Shatrughna on the horse, even though he wanted to. Similarly, in life, sometimes we are just stuck. We may want to gallop ahead in bhakti, but there may be some things in our life, some family relationships, some social obligations that are pulling us behind, that are slowing our progress. And that's okay. Bharat Maharaj is teaching us. He waited 7 days to reach Ayodhya. Even though his heart was racing, let me go, let me go, let me go. Sometimes we are just helpless. Sometimes we have to just bide our time. We have to have patience. And we have to go with Krishna's plan. We are just helpless. We cannot control everything. And always in life, what we want cannot happen. Sometimes ये सबको साथ में लेके चलना होता है. Bharat had to take everyone with him. It slowed him down, but what to do? It is what it is. So this is a very important principle we learn in life, that from Bharat Maharaj, that sometimes there are duties, responsibilities, relations that we cannot forego. And for their sake, we may have to have some inconvenience. Our journey may slow down, spiritual journey may slow down, but in our heart, we should maintain the eagerness. Like Bharat, in his heart, he was maintaining the eagerness. I want to go to Ayodhya. I want to go to Ayodhya. I want to check if Dasharath Maharaj is okay. I want to check if Ram is okay. So that eagerness is called utkantha. That we have to maintain. Gopis also, dekho. If they wanted, they would be with Krishna all day long. But they had husbands. They had father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law. And it was against the law to go to Krishna. Against the Grahastha law to go to Krishna. So what would they do? They would just wait. When Krishna would go to graze the cows, they would secretly take darshan. When whole day they are missing Krishna. Govinda Damodar Madhaveti. Shri Bilvamangalacharya describes, while doing all the work in the house, they would be thinking of Krishna. Then in the evening, they would make sure exactly when Krishna is going to come, they would tell the in-laws, I'll go to the well to fill water. And pani bharne ke bahane se, on the pretext of filling water, they would go outside the house, stand in the corridor, walk along the roadside to see Krishna returning. And at night also, so many duties, responsibilities. After fulfilling all their duties, all their household duties, all day they have been longing to speak with Krishna, longing to be with Krishna. When all the duties are done in the house, everybody has eaten, all the vessels are washed, all the clothes are washed, house is clean, everybody is fed, everybody is tucked in bed. Apne husbands ke pair massage karke, unhe sula ke, when everything is done, then Karshana Venu Swanayara Gopir, Gopinath. Shriman Rasa Rasarambhi Vamshi Vata Tata. Krishna would stand under the Vamshi tree and call them. And at night, then they would be with Krishna, finally. So our night will come. Our night will also come when we will be with Radha and Krishna. But we have to bide our time. We have to bide our time. Like in the final message of His Holiness Kadamba Kanan Maharaj. Have you heard that video? The last message. Everyone should hear. Go to YouTube and look. Media Kadamba Kanan Swami. The last message or final message, something like that. What does Srila Kadamba Kanan Swami Maharaj say? One day we will all be with Radha and Krishna. I am going. And soon we will meet there at the other end. But not yet. But not yet. We have to bide our time. We have to wait. We have to do our bhajan. We have to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. And when Krishna is pleased, he will call us. One day in Bhakti Vaibhav class, I was asked a question that sometimes Krishna gives us death and it seems so premature. Someone like His Holiness Kadamba Kanan Maharaj, it is very nice to appreciate what a ideal passing away departure he had. All his life devotee, very early he joined, served his life in various capacities as temple president, project manager, as a sannyasi, as a Diksha Guru, inspired so many devotees, wonderful service, wonderful lectures, melodious kirtans. And finally, he came to Vrindavan for many months. Last many months, he lived in Vrindavan, Akhanda Vrajvas, and left his body in Vrindavan with devotees chanting Harinam. On the Tirubhav Tithi of Sant Tukaram Maharaj, at the same time that Tukaram Maharaj went to Vaikuntha, noon. So everything was very auspicious, very easy to understand. He fulfilled, made his will, gave instructions to disciples. Everything was in place in the presence of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj. Srila Kadamakanand Maharaj departed. Ideal departure. So this Mataji asked me a question, but then sometimes we see some devotees who just suddenly depart without apparent preparation, time to prepare. They just depart. So how do we understand that? So I gave some answer at that time, whatever Guru and Krishna inspired. But later on, I was hearing my Guru Maharaj, Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj said something very beautiful. I will share that with you. Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj was quoting from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. You all know that story. Remember that story that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells about the South Indian Brahman who used to do Manasi Seva. He was very poor, akinchan, and he wanted to offer different foodstuffs. So he would close his eyes and meditate. And in his meditation, he would offer to Lord Narayan. You know that story? So one day he thought, today I will offer chawal ki kheer. I will offer sweet rice. So in his meditation, he took nice rice. He took first class A2 milk, desi cow ka milk. And then he started boiling that milk with the rice. He put sugar, he put elaichi powder, he put kesar in that milk, put camphor in that milk. Everything in his mind. He's a kinchan, he has nothing. And the khichadi, not khichadi, sorry, the sweet rice is ready. And now he wants to offer it to Lakshmi Narayan. So now he wants to test the temperature of the chawal ki kheer. Because kheer, when it is cooked, it is hot. You have to boil it for a long time. So it nicely gets cooked. But when you serve it, it is never served hot. Kheer is always served cool. So the Brahman wanted to make sure that the kheer is come back to nice cool temperature. So he puts his finger in his meditation. There's nothing in front of him. In his meditation, has the kheer cooled down? Can I offer it now? Is it ready to be offered? And as he puts his finger, his meditation was so real that his finger ko chatka laga. His finger got little burnt with that. And in Vaikuntha, Lord Narayan is smiling, is laughing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling the story in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Lord Narayan is laughing. And Srimati Lakshmi Devi asks, hey Prabhu, what makes you laugh? And Lord Narayan says, hey Lakshmi Devi, just look at that bhakta of ours. He's offering us chawal ki kheer in his meditation. And he's testing the temperature. But his meditation is so powerful. His meditation is so real. He's so absorbed that his finger got burnt. Because the chawal ki kheer was still hot. Sweet rice was still hot. So his finger got burnt. And both Lakshmi and Narayan, they are so pleased with this bhajan. Lord Narayan says, I cannot live without him anymore. I want him right now with me. And he tells his Hari Parshads, his Vaikuntha Parshads, that go and immediately, he sends the Vishnu Dutas, go and immediately bring that devotee to me. And immediately the Vahan comes and this devotee is brought to Vaikuntha to always be with Lakshmi Narayan and serve them eternally in a blissful state of mind. Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj says, now let's come back to earth. Let's come back to South India where this Leela is taking place. Imagine people watching this Brahman. He is hale and hearty, he is young, he is sitting under a tree and doing his bhajan. And from people's vision, oh, suddenly he got a heart attack and died. Because he died. The Vishnu Dutas came and took him to Vaikuntha. So from the earthly viewpoint, he just died suddenly. He had a sudden death. So they may say, oh, this is premature. Bichare young Babaji the, baithe the, he was sitting and suddenly something happened, koi disease hogi. Maybe he got heart attack, maybe he got stroke, maybe he had something. Maybe he didn't eat, he got hypoglycemia and went and died. So there is so much speculation that, oh, prematurely, young the, mar gaye. He died young. But Maharaj was saying, who is going to decide whether it was a mature death or a premature death? From the point of view of earth, this Brahman died prematurely. But from the point of view of soul, very mature. Lord Narayan is calling him. I cannot live without him. Bring him, bring him. He has pleased me so much. You see? So our vision is different from Krishna's vision. Our vision doesn't matter. Krishna has the perfect vision. So what is mature death? What is premature death? We don't know. So like that. It is 10:51. No? Actually, there is so much to talk about Bharat Maharaj. What happens after that? I was going to speak at least till the time where he performs the Anteshti Kriya of Dashrath Maharaj. Okay. So Bharat Maharaj comes, and when he comes to Ayodhya, he sees the whole city desolate. Normally, there are dhoop of, Valmiki Ramayan describes dhoop of chandan and aguru. Aguru or chandan ki agarbatti. Har ek ghar mein, every house, those beautiful fragrances coming in Ayodhya. And every house has a sacrificial fire. Because in Treta Yuga, the Yuga Dharma was Yajna. Kriteya dhyayato Vishnum, Tretayam yajato makhay, Dwapare paricharyayam kalau tad hari kirtanat. So, ऐसे हाथ, the hands go up and up and up as the yugas progress. Kriteya dhyayato Vishnu. ऐसे ज्ञान मुद्रा में in कृते, in सत्य योग ऐसे बैठे. त्रेतायाम yajato makhay, द्वापरे परिचर्यायाम kalau tad hari kirtanat. Kalau tad hari kirtanat. So in Treta Yuga, everyone was doing Yajna. And what we should do? In every house, there should be Mridanga and Kartal and harmonium. And Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Bharat ji and Shatrughna ji, when they came to Ayodhya, they saw that where is the fragrance, where is the sacrificial fire? Even they saw the houses were not swept. And people were sitting outside their homes with dirty, unwashed clothes. And they looked very haggard and just nothing was right. Nobody was playing. There was no hustle bustle. All the shops were closed in the marketplace. Bharat Maharaj understood something is wrong. He went straight to the palace of Maharaj Dashrath, and Dashrath Maharaj was not there. He said, "Where is my father? Where is my father?" And he saw his mother there, Kaikeyi. She was so happy to see her son after so many months. She came running to him, embraced him. Bharat ji touched the feet of Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi embraced him. And Bharat ji asked immediately, "How is my father? Where is he? Why he is not come? Normally, whenever I come from out of town, he is there to greet me. Where is my father? I long to touch his feet." And very matter-of-factly, very bluntly, in a very insensitive way, Kaikeyi blurted out, "Your father, who was the shelter for all the people of Ayodhya, who was one of the greatest king who has walked on this planet Earth, has gone to the heavenly world. He died. He has gone to the heavenly world. He has followed the path of all our great ancestors. And my dear son, this vast kingdom now belongs to you." Bharat was mortified. What is wrong with my mother? My father is dead and she seems to be almost celebrating. This kingdom is yours? No, this kingdom is Ram's. He is my elder brother and he is more qualified. Where is Ram, mother? "Oh, my dear child, you know, Dashrath wanted to neglect you, ignore you, and make that Ram the king. Therefore, I used my 2 boons to get Ram out of the kingdom. He is now gone with Sita and Lakshman to some remote forest, and he will be there for the next 14 years. And this kingdom, my dear son, is yours." Bharat was shocked beyond words. How could my mother think that I would be happy to hear this horrible, tragic news that Ram has been banished and the poor Sita, who was so lovingly brought up by Janak Maharaj, is walking in tree bark without any footwear in the harsh forests, and Lakshman is with them, and I should sit on the throne and enjoy royal opulence? What is wrong with my mother? How could she think that I'll be happy with all this? He chastised his mother. He said, "Mother, what is wrong with you? From today, you are never my mother." And my dear friends, with Lord Ramchandra ordering Bharat, Bharat forgave his mother. But Rasik Acharyas have said, he forgave his mother, but never once he addressed her again as mother. Never. Throughout his life, Bharat never called Kaikeyi mother again after this incident. And he told her, from today, you are not my mother. You are some demoness who has taken birth and appeared in the royal family. You were born only to give me distress. How could you think that by banishing Ram, I'll be happy? How could you think that by murdering my father, I will be happy? He chastised her and left and went straight out. As he was going out, all the ministers were watching Bharat. And they all misunderstood him. And they thought he's part of the conspiracy. Poor Bharat, he was misunderstood. Bharat very clearly with folded hands told the ministers, my dear ministers, please know I have nothing to do with this conspiracy. I was not aware of this conspiracy. Please do not think that I covet this kingdom. Please do not think that I envy my brother Ram. Ram is the rightful king, and I will do whatever it takes to bring him back. This teaches a very important Siddhanta, my dear friends. Sometimes we are wrongly criticized in this world. Sometimes great people are blasphemed in this world, especially in Kali Yuga when there is internet. People write all sorts of things on Facebook. Please listen carefully, my dear friends. Srila Prabhupada had to get sunstroke in Chandni Chowk of Delhi. He is almost in his late 60s and he is hand distributing Back to Godhead magazines. Person to person on a chai ka thela, on a tea stall. Prabhupada, such a great Paramhamsa, Vrajrasik Vaishnav, our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, he's person to person. People are drinking tea and he's going, can you please buy this Back to Godhead magazine for a few paisas, one hand to hand, and collecting that money so he can publish Srimad Bhagavatam. And he's distributing Back to Godhead magazines to transmit the message of our Guru Varga, Gaura Vani Pracharine. Gaura Vani ka prachar karne ke liye Srila Prabhupada, person to person, he's going and his hand distributing Back to Godhead magazine. My dear friends, it was so difficult for Srila Prabhupada to give his message to 5-10 people. You agree? 5-10 people to give them the message of Gauravani that Srila Prabhupada is transmitting. Prabhupada had to work so hard. By the end of the day, he would distribute few Back to Godhead magazines, maybe a dozen. So his message reached 12-15 people. And today, we demons, we have got internet. And we write something on Facebook, immediately 1,000 people have read it. See the power we have. Our Prabhupada is struggling whole day in the sun, without food and water, on the hot streets of Delhi, giving message through his personally typed Back to Godhead magazine to 10-15 people. And now we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have WhatsApp. We can write blogs. We can put our videos on YouTube and give our message to thousands of people. And what message we give? We criticize Vaishnavas. We point out their faults and people read that on Facebook and other social media platforms. How bad is that? How horrible is that? Our Guru Varga is criticized. When my Guru Maharaj was being criticized and there were false allegations against him, some senior devotees went to Maharaj and said that should we take on this? People are criticizing on the internet, should we take on them? We can give them good reply and we can argue with them, debate with them, defeat them. Because they are just going on and making false allegations against you, saying so many horrible things which never happened. And Srila Radhana Swayam Maharaj said, no, don't respond to them. People who know, they know the truth. And we should not just go and keep trying to convince them, because every day new people will come with new conspiracy theories, with new allegations. How much are you going to fight? How much energy are you going to waste from your bhajan to speak with these people on the internet? Maharaj said, don't say anything. Don't comment anything. And Maharaj, will it be Guru Aprad if we don't fight for you? Maharaj said, it will be Guru Aprad if you fight. I don't want you to fight. I don't want you to fight. Just leave it. You don't read Facebook. You read Prabhupada's books. Why you have time to read Facebook? You read Prabhupada's books instead. Give your time to Srila Prabhupada. So like that. Yes, our Guru Varga will be criticized. And sometimes we feel like Srila Jiva Goswami to challenge them and to defeat, like Srila Jiva Goswami challenged and defeated those that Digvijay Pandit thoroughly defeated him in Vrindavan. And that was correct. But we should not waste too much time, because so many people will write so many comments. How many YouTube videos we are going to find and find the comments and reply to them, and what is going to happen? We are only getting agitated. So best is to be beyond suspicion, go on with our bhajan and just neglect these people. Just neglect these people. Let them blaspheme. Satyameva jayate. Ultimately, truth will prevail. The truth will prevail. So we should have faith and we should continue. So Bharat Maharaj, once he told that I am not part of the controversy, but he didn't keep, he didn't send messengers, please tell everybody I am innocent, I am not at fault. He didn't go berserk trying to protect his reputation. Once, twice he said, I have nothing to do. But the world could see what a sadhu he is, how much love he has for Ram. So that we can learn from Bharat Maharaj, that we don't have to get so much affected by this blasphemy. In this regard, my Guru Maharaj, he quoted a Bengali proverb that Srila Prabhupada writes about. You want to hear Bengali proverb? Srila Prabhupada writes, a cow is not affected by the cursing of a vulture. Vulture is in the mode of ignorance. He's the lowest of the animals, scavenger. And cow is the best among the animals. Sadhus are like cows. And the Vaishnava Aparadhis, those who criticize, blaspheme, those who find faults, they are like the vultures. They are after the filth, decomposing, decaying flesh they want to eat. And the vulture may look at the cow and utter a curse at the cow. Cow is Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanya Hitaya, not vulture Brahmanya Hitaya. Krishna is Gopal, not vulture Pal. Of course, he is the Palak for everyone. He is Pitaham Asya Jagata. But in terms of cleanliness, in terms of spiritual advancement, the cow is very pure. Cow ka dung is also pure. Vulture ko sparsh karne se we have to take a bath. So contaminated. But cow ka even dung is very pure. It can be put on the altar. What altar? Krishna is bathed with Panchagavya. One of the items is cow urine and cow dung. So Prabhupada Ji Maharaj writes the Bengali proverb, a cow is not affected by the curse of a vulture. So let the vultures do what they do. But cow should be licking Krishna's feet. That's all. Radha Krishna Padam Bhojo Bhringaya Gurave Namaha. Like that. So then Bharat Maharaj, he told everyone that I will go and bring back Ram. You don't worry. I will personally go. But then Vasishtha Muni said, my dear Bharat, it has been more than a week. Your father has died. And I have preserved his dead body in a tank of oil. It is high time. We must, before we go to the forest searching for Ram, Sita and Lakshman, first we should perform the Anteshti Kriya, the last rites, funeral rites for your father. And you are the son present here, you should do it now. Because Ram will not come back to Ayodhya. He may not come back. And we cannot wait endlessly. We have to perform the last rites. So you immediately perform. Bharat Maharaj got up. He said, let's do it right now. So Vasishtha Muni, he brought out the mortal remains of Maharaja Dashrath from the oil tank and placed them on a golden bed. This bed was decorated with precious jewels, and Dashrath Maharaja's body was covered with a pure white silk cloth. And the body was brought. Dashrath Maharaja's body was also decorated with precious jewels and necklace and rings and everything. His hair was oiled and combed. Neatly, Dashrath Maharaj was brought before Bharat Maharaj. And you can only imagine what Bharat and Shatrughna felt when they actually saw the dead body of his father. Especially knowing the painful circumstances in which Dashrath Maharaj was not there to console him. Shatrughna was not there to console him. And he was all alone. He was all alone. Ram was not there. Sita was not there. Lakshman was not there. All alone. Without any of his sons, he left his body, crying in separation from Ram. Bharat was very pained. He fell down and cried piteously at the feet of his father. Oh father, where have you gone? Whenever I used to play with my brothers and come, you would dust off all the dust and mud from our clothes. You would embrace us. You would teach us how to hold the bow and arrow. You taught us moral codes of principles. Whenever we didn't know what to do, we would ask you, and you always told us based on Dharma Shastra what we should do. Oh father, who will guide me now? Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Vasishtha Muni told Bharat that, come on, let's go to the bank of the river Sharayu and perform the last rites. In those days, every king, when they got initiated as a child, when they used to have their Upanayan Samskar, they would light a sacrificial fire. After getting initiated, when they would get the Brahmin, the Yajna Pavita, they would start a sacrificial fire. And that fire was akhanda in their palace. Every king, every prince, every king. And that fire was kept alive throughout their life. And it was from the fire of that Yajna that their last rites would be performed. So Bharat Maharaj took a burning piece of wood from that sacrificial fire of Dashrath Maharaj and went to the funeral pyre. And the entire funeral pyre was made of tulsi wood and chandan wood. So even when it is lit, there is only fragrance. Chandan ke kasht se wo funeral pyre banaya gaya tha, and tulsi. Because Padma Puran says that when anybody dies, when their body is cremated, if tulsi kashtha is there on the body, touching the body, that person goes to Vaikuntha. Padma Puran says this. So therefore, whenever a Vaishnava dies, we should make sure they have a tulsi kanthi, and we can even put a tulsi stick on their body during cremation. Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami describes this in his book on different spiritual rites that should be performed. What is that book called? Satkriya Sar, something it's called. I am forgetting. Vismaran ho raha hai. But that book that Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami has written, where all the samskaras are described, it is the standard book for ISKCON devotees. So in that it is described that tulsi wood should be there on the dead body when a Vaishnava is cremated. So all that was done, and Bharat Maharaj performed the last rites. He took his bath in the Sharayu river. He offered jal tarpan, he offered water to his departed father, and they came back to Ayodhya. When they came back to Ayodhya, near the gate of the palace of Dashrath Maharaj, they saw Manthara for the first time. The one who was the cause of all this. And Manthara was celebrating because Bharat had become the king, was going to become the king, and Ram had been exiled. And now Kaikeyi would become the main queen. And actually, when Bharat Maharaj was doing the last rites of Dashrath Maharaj, Kausalya and Sumitra wanted to go sati. They wanted to enter the fire. But then Vasishtha Muni said that what will Ram feel when he comes back after 14 years? And he doesn't see you, Kausalya. He doesn't see you, Sumitra. What will Ram, Lakshman and Sita feel? For their happiness, you must bear the painful separation for 14 years from Dashrath Maharaj and from Ram and not die. You have to stay. Exactly what Kadamakaran Maharaj said. We will meet at the other end, but not yet. But not yet. We have to wait. We have to bide our time. So Vasishtha Muni told them not to go sati, not to enter the fire. So they stayed. For the pleasure of Ram. Just see. They stayed back. And they come back and they see Manthara celebrating. Manthara, who was a maid servant, was wearing nice sari. She was wearing nice jewels. And she was looking very happy. When Shatrughna saw this, he could not control his anger. He went to her and grabbed her by the hair and said, "You wicked, heartless woman, is your heart made of stone? Dashrath Maharaj died in sorrow. Kausalya and Sumitra want to die. Ram is walking on thorns and sharp pebbles with the delicate Sita and with Lakshman behind them. Whole of Ayodhya is drowning in an ocean of sorrow, and you are wearing nice clothes and jewels and celebrating. What kind of a woman are you? You polluted the mind of my mother." Shatrughna, he dragged You polluted the mind of my stepmother, Kaikeyi. He dragged Manthara on the floor and said, today in front of everyone, I will punish you. I will punish you. And Manthara started calling out to her mistress, Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi Rani, save me, save me, save me. Hearing her piteous cries from inside the palace, Kaikeyi came out. And she fell at the feet of Shatrughna. Let go, let go, let go. Don't do this. Everybody is watching. Shatrughna said, I don't care. I have to punish. She's wicked. She's like a demoness. She has to be punished. Kaikeyi begged to Bharat. Bharat, intervene, please. Shatrughna will not listen to anybody but you. Do something. Now please listen carefully. Bharat Charitra, the character, the glory of Bharat Maharaj comes out. Was Bharat angry with Manthara? Yes, very angry. Did Manthara deserve punishment? Absolutely. She killed Dashrath. She sent Lord Ram to the forest for 14 years, and Sita, and Lakshman. She was wicked and she had no remorse. She had no guilt. She deserved to be punished. But what did Bharat do? And Shatrughna was more than willing to do it. Bharat stopped Shatrughna and said, no, Shatrughna, don't do this. Bharat said, with my sword, I would have myself severed the neck of this wicked Manthara right now. But I am not doing it. You know why? Because Shastra says no. The Dharma Shastra says a woman should never be mistreated. A woman should never be physically assaulted. And she is a woman, so we cannot punish her. We have to forgive her, let her go. Besides, we have to think, will this act of yours please Ram? If Ram comes to know that you physically punished a woman, Manthara, Ram will never speak to you. Do you want that? Ram will be displeased with you. Do you want that? Immediately Shatrughna let go. He immediately let go of Manthara. Bharat is teaching us a very important siddhanta, my dear friends, that whatever we do in life, no matter what our conviction is, no matter what our beliefs are, we have to always think, will Krishna be pleased or will Krishna be displeased? Will Guru Maharaj and Krishna be pleased with me or will they be displeased? If they will be displeased, we should not do it. That is the only litmus test to know whether this thing is worth doing or it is not worth doing. Will Guru and Krishna be pleased or not? If answer is no, we don't do it. Pratikulyasya varjanam. If Guru and Krishna will be pleased with it, then even though it may be painful, shooting arrows in the body of Bhishma Dev, it may be painful, but karishya vachanam tava. We should do it. Anukulyasya sankalpa. Pratikulyasya varjanam. Bharat Maharaj told Shatrughna to release Manthara because beating her, punishing her would severely displease Ram, who is Vedanta Krit, who is the giver of the Vedic literature, the Dharma Shastras. And Dharma Shastra, the Shastra and Krishna forbid it. So we should not do it. This is the compass of our life. How will Mahaprabhu be pleased? Trinadapi sunichena, tarori vasahishnuna, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sadahari. So this verse is the compass of our life. Everything we do in life, we have to gauge. Does it fit into Trinadapi sunichena? Mahaprabhu has spoken this instruction to all of us like that. So whatever we do, it should be within the instructions of Guru and Gauranga. That is the success of our life. And Srila Prabhupada was willing to give his life to accomplish that. Srila Prabhupada risked his life going in front of the Maoists in Calcutta. Srila Prabhupada risked his life going behind the Iron Curtain in the communist USSR in the 1970s, at the peak of the Cold War, from America. He flew from America. So very, very dangerous. But all these risks were taken by Srila Prabhupada because Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana bahushakya anantasya budhayo avyavasayina. Srila Prabhupada had Vyavasayatma buddhi. He was one-pointed in his determination to serve Guru and Krishna. And that is the path we have to take. The path that will please Guru and Krishna. We should take instructions from them and do just what Guru and Krishna have told us to do. I will conclude by telling a very wonderful story. Once a Guru Maharaj's Vyas Puja was going on, and inside, just in the temple, and in the temple room, he had his danda, sannyas danda. So he wanted to have the sannyas danda with him during the Vyas Puja, and he forgot the sannyas danda in the room. So he's sitting on the Vyasasana, it is Vyas Puja. So many devotees have come downstairs in the temple, forgot the danda. So he told his servant, go and bring my danda from my room quickly. I forgot it in the room. During the Vyas Puja, I should have it. So the disciple went and brought the sannyas danda. And then afterwards that evening, Guru Maharaj told that servant that from today for 1 month, don't show me your face. Don't serve me. Don't show me your face. Don't come near me. I don't want to see you. The servant said, why? He said, because I told you, go and get my sannyas danda. And you went in the room and he saw that certain things were not in order in the room. Like Maharaja's harmonium was kept in a certain way. There was a book there kept on the book stand. So he thought, I should also clean up the room a little bit. So he closed that book, put the book stand, changed few things around in the room and brought the danda also. Did the seva, but did something that was not told. And Gurudev said, I want you to learn a lesson. I want to teach you a principle that Guru Mukha Padmavakya Chittete Goriya Aikya. Do what Guru Maharaj has told. Don't do something whimsically. Everything was there in the room for a reason. I had kept it like that. You had no business going and changing it. Unless one has intelligence like Hanumanji to know the heart of the master, one should not do extra things. Hanumanji was told, find Sita. He found Sita, fought with Ravan's army, burnt Lanka, gauged their strength, and he came back. Did so many things, extra things, because he's first class servant. But unless we are first class, we should not be over smart, thinking that I know how to arrange Gurudev's room better than Gurudev. And turning things around, shifting things here and there. And Gurudev could not find so many things when he came back to the room. So he taught him a lesson. Said, 1 month, don't show me your face. And 1 month, so he petitioned, he begged forgiveness, but the punishment stood. 1 month he was not allowed. After 1 month he was allowed. But he was saying, I learned my lesson, not to be over smart. So like that, we have to learn all these things from our Guru Varga and just follow what Guru and Krishna have told us to do. And that is the path of perfection. I will stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If there are any questions, we can, or comments, we can spend few minutes.
Jai. His Grace Ādi Gadādhara Prabhu ki.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Thank you so very much, Ādi Gadādhara Prabhu. We wish we could keep going and going, and I was sincerely hoping that we will get to listen the union of Ram and Bharat and
Yes.
these, dialogues, and so maybe we can continue. I don't know. Yeah, I know you are traveling, Prabhu, and even with your travels, you gave us a lot of time. We are so grateful, and we pray and hope to hear more and more Hari Katha from you. And you gave us so many beautiful teachings and lessons in the whole narration, beautiful narration, but so many important lessons to learn, especially the lesson of association, that how important, how much love she had for Ram, and she still, got, taken away with the association of mantra, Mother Kaikai, and so many other lessons. So thank you very, very much. So at this point, let's see if devotees would like to ask questions, or if they have any comments, you can raise your hands. So I see Divya Agarwal Mataji. Please go ahead, Mataji, and you can unmute yourself and ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
You spoke about Valmiki Ramayan being the authorized scripture, but like I've read both Valmiki and Ramcharitamanas, and I feel the nectar that Ramcharitamanas has. I find the Chopai so sweet that, for some reason I don't feel the same way when I read Valmiki Ramayan. I mean, Ramcharitamanas, you can sing the chopais, and they're so poetic and so easy to understand, and they are so much filled with nectar. So I just wondered why we don't consider Tulsidas Ramayan the authorized one. That's one question. Secondly, there's some differences between both the Ramayana, Tulsidas and Valmiki. Like, the Swayamvar, Sita Swayamvar, and like few more things, minor differences. So I wondered why is that.
Shri Valmiki Muni's Ramayana is the original foundational Ramayana. It was told to Valmiki Muni by Lord Brahma himself. And Charitam Raghunathasya Shata Koti Pravistaram Ekaikam Aksharam Pumsam Mahapatakanashanam. In the beginning of Valmiki Ramayana, this verse is there that Charitam Raghunathasya Shata Koti. Valmiki Ramayana is 24,000 verses. 24,000 verses. But it is Shata Koti. It is 100 crore in Brahmalok, if you go to Brahmalok. So Valmiki Ramayana is unlimited. It is vast. And what Valmiki Muni has given is also full of rasa, but it is in Sanskrit, in the Anushtup Chanda. And for us, it is difficult to understand the Sanskrit language. But actually, Valmiki Ramayana also is filled with nectar. Goswami Tulsidas Ji's Ramcharitmanas is intoxicating and maddening. Because as you said, it is very sweet. And those chopais are very beautifully written. Like it is like Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is maddening. But Valmiki Ramayana is like Srimad Bhagavatam. So they are continuation. They are not different. Whatever Valmiki Muni could not give in Valmiki Ramayana, he has given in Ramcharitmanas as Goswami Tulsidas Ji. So yes, definitely. And some differences are there. But that is because the Leela is unlimited. And Ram Leela happens repeatedly, every day of Brahma. Just like Krishna comes every day in the life of Brahma, every day of Brahma, Lord Ramchandra also comes. So Lord Raghunath has come so many times on this planet and will continue to come. So the Leela keeps happening and there are different variations, and whichever Leela Goswami Tulsidas saw in his heart, he has written down. Ramcharit Manas, उनके मानस पटल पर जैसे लीला हुई, उन्होंने उसे चौपाइयों में बांध दिया हमारे हित के लिए, एकदम सरल भाषा में. So yes, Goswami Tulsidas's Ramcharitmanas is definitely very attractive, very intoxicating, and it is authorized. And Valmiki Muni's Valmiki Ramayana, it is the foundation. It is the foundation, and then on that you can build as much as you want. The bona fide acharyas have built. There are many renderings of Ramayana. So, but Valmiki Muni's is the foundational, and there is a lot of ras. We may not be able to tap it. So you need someone to open that rasa from Valmiki Ramayana. Sripad Ramanujacharya, Shri Vedanta Deshikesh, they used to cry reading Valmiki Ramayana, completely intoxicated. So Valmiki Ramayana also has great nectar. We cannot tap into it because of language problem, and not only language problem, because we don't have that bhav. But Goswami Tulsidas is very simple. It's like we can read, and most of you who are Hindi speaking, you can read and understand. So there is more relatability to that, and you can easily understand it. So that is a difference. But Valmiki Muni's Valmiki Ramayana is the foundation. Even Goswami Tulsidas Ji also refers to Valmiki Ramayana like that. So remember the example of Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Both are nectarian. One is in Sanskrit, one is in the local language. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prem Latika Mataji.
Yes, Prem Latika.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, I have a question about, like you said, that we should always try to do our, good to others, and basically, think that, if Krishna is pleased and Guru is pleased with this before taking decision. But many times it happens that, we have a bad dog right inside, and the good dog, and then we know that what we are doing is wrong, but when when we keep on thinking, okay, I'm not going to do this because this is not good for my spiritual life, or saying something bad, but when that moment comes, then many times it happens that the bad dog wins, and we try, and then we regret later, and then again and again it happens. We try our best, maybe we succeed sometime, but not many times. So how to understand that moment, how to handle that particular moment?
Yeah. This is a perpetual problem, Mataji, with all of us, that we know what is right, generally speaking, we know what is wrong, but we are not able to do what we are supposed to do, and what we are not supposed to do, many times we do that. ये है ना आपका प्रश्न कि there are two things that we hear in satsang. There is vidhi and there is nishedh.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Vidhi means what to do that we fail to do, and nishedh, जो निषेध है उसे हम कर बैठते हैं. We end up doing that, what we are not supposed to do. So for this we need spiritual strength, we need bal to accomplish this, and that bal comes from two things. One is Naam and one is Sharanagati. If we try to inculcate the mood of Sharanagati, we pray for Sharanagati, and we take shelter of the holy name, then when we are in such a dilemma, should I do this? Should I not do this? How do I resist doing this? The name will give us the strength. Holy name will give us the strength. So two things. All the Rasikacharyas, you'll see these two things common in them: Sharanagati and Nirantar Naam. Many times, if we just take a vow that from today I'm going to chant this much, we take a higher number, there is no time to do things that we are not supposed to do, to speak things that we are not supposed to do. Time nahi hai, sankhya nahi hui. So therefore, it's always good to take a big sankhya as one sankalpa. And even though we may not be able to do it, it's good to have that, go to bed at night with that guilty feeling that I could not finish my sankhya today, than to have free time and then do things, speak things that are harmful. But otherwise also, if we just keep chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Khaite Shuite Tha Naam Le, Deshkal Niyam Nahi, Sarva Siddhi Hai. It will give us all perfection just by taking Naam Ashray, and then always praying to Guru and Gauranga that please make me do what is pleasing to you. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. I don't want to do anything that will displease you, my Lord. May I always do karmana manasa vacha, with my body, mind and words, may I always do that which will make you happy, that which will be pleasing to you, not displeasing to you. This prayer we have to offer to Krishna. Please, Krishna, with my body, mind and words, I always want to do what is pleasing to you, and I never want to displease you. That is my greatest fear. When Ladini Mataji, Prabhupada disciple, she wrote her last letter to my Guru Maharaj, Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj. That letter is published. She said that Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj has told me to get on the US Marines ship and evacuate from Liberia. US military had sent their ship to evacuate the US citizen. She was a US citizen. Ki the civil war is breaking out, you go. And Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj instructed me to leave. She said, but with great difficulty, I'm going to disobey him. And I'm going to stay back. Why? Because I've been preaching here. These new boys and girls are joining the temple, and the only devotee they know is me. How can I abandon them and go in the middle of the civil war? She said, I am not afraid of dying. And I know in the heart, Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj is so compassionate. He will appreciate my sacrifice. Bhaktivedanta Maharaj himself, he told Krishna, give me sufferings of all the devotees of ISKCON. I want to suffer on their behalf. In the open Vyas Puja, he prayed like that. And then immediately in 4 months, he got cancer. So Ladini Mataji knew the heart of her God. She said, ultimately, Bhaktivedanta Maharaj has written that instruction to me in a letter for my protection, because he wants to protect me. But in my heart, I know he will be happy if I stay. It's like Mahaprabhu telling Nityananda Prabhu, don't come next Chaturmas. But Nitai came anyway. He knew that it will please Mahaprabhu. So Ladini Mataji told Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj that I am not afraid of dying. Every day 300 to 350 people are dying in this city. People are being just gunned down by machine guns. It's madness. There is no method to the madness. It's just utter chaos. But Maharaj, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stay back. I'm going to take care of these devotees. I'm going to serve these boys and girls. I'm not going to abandon them. Maharaj, I am not afraid of death. But I am afraid of displeasing these devotees. I am afraid of abandoning these devotees. That is my fear. I am afraid of Vaishnava Aparadha. I am afraid of doing anything that will displease Guru and Krishna. These boys and girls have come to me because of Prabhupada. As Prabhupada's representative, I am like their mother. How can a mother leave their children when there is a war breaking out? Will a mother ever leave children if there is a riot in the city? अपने बच्चों को लेके ऐसे बैठेगी. A mother, she said, I am their mother, spiritual mother. How can I leave them and go? Impossible. So this is the heart of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava will never do anything that will displease Krishna. So we have to pray like this, that Krishna make me like that I should never forget you. I should never do anything that will displease you. And Naam Ashray. Sharanagati Naam Ashray. Then what happens is, then Krishna gives his intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Tesham sadata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Then Krishna gives his intelligence. We do things that we are not supposed to do because we are using our own mind and intelligence, correct? But when Krishna gives his intelligence to us, Dadami buddhi yogam tam, then we are able to discriminate properly. Then these things will not attract us. Then we become like Haridas Thakur. We can see Maya. This lady has come as Maya. Now what happens, Mataji? We know what is right, what is wrong. But we have Sukh Buddhi in the wrong things. For example, I may know that doing something illegal and earning money is not good. But I also feel that पैसे का काम पैसा ही करता है. Money is honey. So we have this sukh buddhi in material things. We feel that these things will ultimately give us some happiness. Whatever it may be, breaking the 4 regulative principles. We think by breaking the regulative principles, maja aayega, sukh milega. Because that sukh buddhi in these forbidden things, we do them. Will we do anything that is forbidden if we don't have sukh buddhi in them? We do because we think that will make us happy. Criticizing a devotee, we feel that makes us look superior. When we criticize others, it makes us feel superior. Yeah? I can tell this is wrong, this is right. One bacha was telling, bacha, he's not even 18. He's telling, I don't know what is going to happen to ISKCON. We said, क्यों भाई, क्या हो गया? आजकल के स्पीकर शास्त्र नहीं पढ़ते. The speakers nowadays don't read Shastra. They speak nonsense. They have not studied Jiva Goswami Shat Sandarbha. They have not studied the Goswami literature and they are giving classes. And they speak Apasiddhanta. I don't know, Prabhuji, what is going to happen to ISKCON. Now I know who is telling him all this. I know who is telling him all this. Who is his Shiksha Guru. So like that, Mataji. This type of mentality, thinking that, finding faults in big, nice devotees in ISKCON who are spreading the holy name, who are spreading Krishna's glories and putting them down. I don't know what will happen to ISKCON with speakers like that. And he said 99% of speakers in ISKCON are speaking Apasiddhanta. He told me. 99% of ISKCON speakers are speaking Apasiddhanta. I don't know what is going to happen. Bacha is telling. He's not even 18 years old. So, now we know speaking like this about Vaishnavas is wrong. Now, does this boy know the Siddhanta that one should not criticize? He's talking about Apasiddhanta, little rascal. Does he not understand the Siddhanta that we have to be anindak? Mahaprabhu has said, become anindak. He knows it. Why he's speaking? Because it makes our false ego feel good. I can see fault. I can point faults in others. मैं उनसे better हूँ. Only a person who thinks I am better can chastise others, no? Can find faults in others. So this is a disease, Mataji. We get a certain perverted sukh by doing the wrong things. That's why we do them. उनमें सुख बुद्धि है, अच्छा लगता है. So, but when we get buddhi yoga, when Krishna gives buddhi, then we understand what is Trinada Pisuneshana, what is Amanina Manadena, and we don't want to do it. So we should pray to Krishna, Krishna mujhe aap buddhi yog do, dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite, by which we can get Krishna. With our buddhi, narak buddhi, we are going to hell. But when Guru and Krishna give us their intelligence, their buddhi yoga, then we can get Krishna. So we have to pray for that. And the way to attract Krishna's mercy is Naam. Naam, Naam. Nothing else works in Kali Yuga. Nothing else will attract Krishna. With bhakti, when we call out, this morning I was listening to an Hari Katha of Srila Radha Govinda Goswami Maharaj. And actually while doing Puja Seva, I was listening this morning. And this is the Radhashtami lecture. You can go to YouTube and you can type Ek Ansuni Katha Radhashtami, Srila Radha Govinda Goswami, famous lecture on YouTube. Usme Srila Radha Govinda Maharaj says कि बिना रोए भगवान नहीं मिलते. रुरुदु सुस्वरम राजन Krishna darshana lalasa. Unless you cry for Krishna, you don't get Krishna. Srila Radha Govinda Maharaj said. Then he said, खास करके दो प्रकार के व्यक्ति जब रोते हैं तो सरल भगवत प्राप्ति हो जाती है. If two types of people cry, they will very quickly get Krishna. Who are they? Maharaj said, स्त्री और अर्भक, बच्चे. जब कोई स्त्री रोती है, जैसे गोपियां रोते हैं तो जल्दी मिल जाते हैं. एंड बच्चे. तो महाराज से हम तो बच्चे नहीं है, बट Srila Prabhupada taught us how should we chant like a child crying for the parents. So we can all become like children and cry for Krishna. Then Krishna will listen to our prayers and he will give buddhi yoga. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena manupayanti. But for that, tesham satata yuktana bhajatam priti purvakam. With priti, with prem. Prem is there in the heart. Nitya Siddha Krishna prem. It is there. We have affection for family members, parents, wife, children, country, desh prem, jati prem, kul prem, prem for our family members, prem for ourselves. So prem to hai. Nobody can say I don't have prem. बस वो प्रेम भगवान को अर्पण करना है. That's all. तेषाम सतयुक्तानाम भजताम, भजताम, भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताय, भजताम प्रीति पूर्वकम, ददामि बुद्धि योगम तम ये नमः. ये तो भगवद गीता का एकदम मूल श्लोक है ना. चतुश्लोकी में से है ना ये. तेषाम सतयुक्तानाम भजताम प्रीति, है ना, है कि नहीं? हाँ है मेरे ख्याल से.
Yes, Prabhuji.
हाँ
Yes, Prabhuji.
हाँ चतुश्लोकी में है. तो ये मेन है. तो इसमें आंसर है आपका. तेषाम सतयुक्तानाम भजताम प्रीति पूर्वकम, और प्रार्थना करनी ददामि बुद्धि योगम तम ये नमः उपयांति. ठीक है. फिर भगवान पूरा अंधकार निकाल देंगे. तेषाम एवानुकंपार्थम अहम अज्ञानजम तमः नाशयामि आत्मभावस्त ज्ञान दीपेन भास्वत. फिर ज्ञान का दीप हो जाएगा, पूरा अंधकार चला जाएगा. हृदयदस्तो ही अवध्राणी विधुनोति सुहृद सता. ठीक है. हरे कृष्ण. नाम और भगवान से प्रार्थना करनी है कि आपका बल दो, आपकी बुद्धि दो. मेरी बुद्धि कुमति है. जैसे आप कहें ना बैड डॉग, उसको कहते हैं कुमति. वी हैव सुमति एंड कुमति, गुड डॉग एंड बैड डॉग. तो कुमति को हटा के बुद्धि योग चाहिए, भगवान की शक्ति चाहिए. बलहीन, हम बलहीन होके भगवान के बल का अनुभव करना, उसे शरणागति कहते हैं. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण. Last question, Hemant Malik, Prabhu.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, please go.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Ādi Gadādhara Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
My question is related to in Ramayana, related to Mahārāj Bharat. So in across the India, in fact we should say across the globe, we have the temples related to Lord Ram, Mata Sita. We have for Lord Hanuman. Right? But Mahārāj Bharat has been called always as Mahārāj, right? Never being Lord, right? Though he has ruled for 14 years in place of Rama, and in fact, in Ramayana also it's been called as Bharat Rajyam, was equals to Ram Rajyam.
Yes.
Right? Still we call it as a Mahārāj Bharat, never a Lord Bharat. There is one temple that I got to know from one of my friends that is in Kerala, which is dedicated to Mahārāj Bharat. So whether Mahārāj Bharat is being considered as a demigod or just a Maharaj Bharat, right? Like, how like, we see to it by looking at Ramayana and the role of Maharaj Bharat, whether he was a demigod or whether he is in place of Lord Ram, he was the ruler for 14 years. How
Shri
that being
Bharat
looked
ji,
at.
Shri Bharat ji's only identity is Ramdas. That's it. Ramdas. राम के भृत्य, भ्राता है, ब्रदर है, बट भृत्य है, सर्वेंट है. So the only identity of Shri Bharat ji is that he is servant of Ram. So to please Bharat, there are no temples, because Bharat ji will not be pleased if we worship him. He wants to see temples of Ram and Sita and Lakshman. So the way we should see Bharat is, he's definitely not demigod. That's Apasiddhanta, because Bharat ji is Vishnu Tattva. But we should see him as Vishnu Tattva who is in the mood of serving Shri Ram, servant of Ram. That's all. Is that okay, Hemant Prabhu?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
So,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, if you don't mind, I have some doubt or question, if you can help.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
So Prabhuji, again, in regards to association, when you mentioned about a mantra that she polluted Mother Kaikeyi's mind, so I was just thinking about it, that her devotion to Lord Rama was so strong. She loved Lord Ramachandra so much. And how could, in front of such devotion, that, this bad association can play a role that can, overturn things? We understand that when we are not so strong, that then at that point we have to protect ourselves from, bad association or wrong association. So that creates a doubt in the mind that in front of strength of devotion, the bad associations. How do we understand this?
Hare Krishna. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Krishna's devotee will never perish. Your answer is there in Valmiki Ramayana and Ramcharitmanas both. Unfortunately, we could not reach that section. It comes in Bharat Ram Milan. When Bharat ji comes with the whole Sena and his 3 mothers and Vasishtha Muni and everyone to Chitrakoot to convince Shri Ram to come back. In the end, Ram remains firm. He doesn't budge 1 inch. He doesn't go. And Bharat has to return with Ram Paduka. At that time, when everybody goes, Kaikeyi is still there. She cannot leave Ram. She says, Ram, I'll stay with you. I cannot. I'm feeling so guilty. What have I done? I'm such a villain. At that time, it is mentioned that Ram took Kaikeyi to the side and told her, on my order, Saraswati sat on the tongue of Manthara and poisoned your mind. And as the Paramatma in your heart, I allowed you to be polluted temporarily by Manthara's words, because I have some important confidential work in the forest. तो ये सब लीला मैंने रची है. You are not responsible. I am responsible. You are just an actor. So you play this acting. I will come back in 14 years. If you did not do this, कोई तो बहाना चाहिए ना मुझे वनवास जाने के लिए. तो मैंने ये लीला रची है, पर ये लीला ऐसी है कि for all time to come, people will learn lessons about the power of association, power of bad association. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Priya Bhakta Dware Anyera Dilena Shiksha Eita Prakare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Priya Bhakta Dware Anyela Dilena Shiksha Eita Prakare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uses his Priya Bhakta to teach the world lessons. These are all playing roles. Yudhishthira Maharaj gambling without Krishna by his side. Everywhere he would take Krishna. उस द्यूत क्रीड़ा में क्यों नहीं बुलाया कृष्णा को? एक मैसेज भेज दिया था द्वारका, आ जाओ, जाना है हस्तिनापुर. आ गए होते कृष्णा तो फिर थोड़ी चलती शकुनी की. पर चले गए. तो कृष्णा की लीला, दिस कृष्णा's लीला एवरीवेयर, दिस कृष्णा's लीला. सबसे बड़े प्रमाण तो जय विजय है. हिरण्याक्ष, हिरण्यकशिपु, रावण, कुंभकर्ण, गंधर्व, शिशुपाल बन गए वैकुंठ वासी. So ये कृष्णा uses his dear devotees to teach us lesson. Otherwise लीला अटपटी लगेगी. If Kaikeyi did not ask for the boons, तो राम फॉरेस्ट क्यों गए 14 साल के लिए? कोई बहाना चाहिए ना. तो भगवान ऐसा करते हैं और वो लीला में फिर ऐसा रचते हैं कि we can learn lessons. बहुत दयालु है भगवान, बहुत कृपालु है. और उनके ये जो ऐसे पार्षद है जैसे कैकेयी, कितने ग्रेट है. भीष्म देव देखो, कुछ नहीं बोले, कुछ नहीं बोले कुरु सभा में जब द्रौपदी प्रश्न कर रही थी. धर्म के वेत्ता है, he is महाजन, he knows धर्म. My Guru Maharaj, Radhana was asked why Bhishma did not see it. How could he sit like that when Draupadi was being stripped? My Guru Maharaj simply said something very sweet, very sweet. Shri Radhana Maharaj said, because in his heart Bhishma Dev knew that Krishna will come for Draupadi and he didn't want to interfere. He was willing to become the villain who sat there like a eunuch when Draupadi was being attacked. He was willing to take that responsibility because in his heart he knew Avashya Rakshive Krishna. Krishna will come for Draupadi and I don't want to interfere between them. वो बैठे रहे. In fact, महाभारत में युधिष्ठिर महाराज also had that realization. जब भीम उड़ गए गदा लेके कि अभी 100 भाइयों को मारता हूं अकेला, कोई भीष्म मत आओ, खड़े हो गए थे भीम. युधिष्ठिर महाराज told him, sit down, don't take the gada, Krishna will come, the original Gadadhar will come, you sit down. ये महाभारत में है. So like that, Krishna uses his devotees. लीला है प्रभु जी, and we can only cry, appreciate and cry. कितनी सुंदर लीला है भगवान की, कितना डिफिकल्ट रोल प्ले किया कैकेयी ने. हरे कृष्णा.